Hi, and welcome back. In this video, I'll be taking you through the Shapefile discovery step of your project. So this corresponds to your Mapathon entry sheets Shapefiles tab. So let's get started. What we're looking for in this project is shapefiles of peatlands or bogs in your area of interest. So in order to look for them, we can start by looking for shapefiles in a national data portal of your desired area or in an EU database. You also can try websites of companies that deal in peat/turf, so things that come from peatlands, but you also can try some specific open data sources. The Dairy Links group were kind enough to provide us with this list. So my recommendation for parsing it, because there is a lot, is do Control F to find in sheet, and then just search dot whatever the area extension of your region of interest is. So for us, it's Ireland, so it's .ie. So we only have one result, which is data.gov.ie. So I'll open this. We also have open peatlands datasets, which may have more by the time that you look for it, but we'll start with data.gov.ie first. So I'll search peatland. Okay, and we want, remember, our format to be shapefiles, which they do not appear to have for this. So they might have it for your area of interest, but it doesn't appear that data.gov.ie does. I'll try bog, and we'll see resource format. And we would be looking for SHP like this, or ESRI SHP. So we'll go for SHP, but these do not appear to really apply to peatlands. So let's try something else. Let's open up a new search. We will just search the internet in general for Ireland bog shapefiles. Okay, so bogs, mires, and fens, the National Parks and Wildlife Service. Okay, it doesn't say what format these are in necessarily, but we will take raised bogs and blanket bogs. We may also want to download the metadata just to know what we're working with. Now let's open up our file explorer, go to downloads, and we'll open the raised bog first. Okay, yes, great. So this is indeed a shapefile. So we'll go ahead and extract it. So right click, extract all to wherever you want. So I'll just have it extract here. Great. So we have our shapefile. So let's go back. Since we're probably going to be using these in our final map, let's go ahead and add them to our Mapathon entry sheet. So if we go back to the Mapathon master doc, you can scroll down to the how to enter shapefile information section, and it just gives you a description of what each of these fields means. So our dataset name is raised bog active and then blanket bog active. The publisher is NPWS, the National Parks and Wildlife Service. The links are here. And then transformations is just, are we making any changes to the data? No. Okay, and now let's open up QGIS. So you can either open it if you have a shortcut, or if you want to type into your search bar, QGIS, you can do that as well. Okay, so we will open a new project, and we will navigate in the left-hand pane to our data. So first, we'll actually scroll down to this XYZ tiles and OpenStreetMap. This is just a base map that we can use to have some sort of spatial context when we're working with our own data. So let me navigate home, and I will find my downloads, and here's my raised bog. Okay, so I've double clicked on all of these to open them, and I will right click the layer and say zoom to layers, and it will bring me right here. You can scroll in and out. So we can toggle the visibility of the layers by using these checkboxes. So if I want to see the CD field instead of CR, or if we scroll in, you can see that these are vectors instead of raster data. So they're a bit more detailed polygons. So we'll probably want to use these instead. So we have our peatlands here. So let's try and find some more. So let's actually go back and unzip our blanket bog as well. And right click and double click and open. We'll scroll and open all of them and then get rid of whatever we don't need. So we don't really want that and we don't really want that, but we will stick with these as well. And again, so we downloaded those PDFs, which will have explanations for what all of these names mean. I won't go through them, but this is a tool, the kind of tool that you'll need to use in order to understand the data that you're working with so you can perform better analyses. So I will right click and delete or remove the layers that we're not using. All right, so we have these now, but say you're trying really hard and you just cannot find any country data of peatlands. So what we can do in this case is we'll go to Copernicus, Corine, oh, misspelled that, Corine land cover. So we go to the data viewer. We will need to log in order to download data. So I'll go ahead and do that now. You have to make an EU login, but it's very quick. You don't have to wait for approval or anything. You'll just get a confirmation. It's, I think, mostly just for queuing the data because you do need to wait for your request to be processed. So I'll go ahead and log in really quick. Lovely. Okay. So we have area selection by country, and our countries are not available at the moment. Let me find them. Okay. Now we have Ireland selected, and I will select Corine land cover here. Great. Okay. So if we wanted, we could do the nuts boundaries if you're focusing on a smaller region. So this is helpful. And once we have our country of interest selected, let's go ahead and download it. That is bringing up here to the carts and go to cart, and we will say, well, actually, first we're going to change our projection. You can actually have it whatever you want. I prefer 3857. We'll have it as vector data, and then we will do a shapefile. So make sure you've got everything selected, and then process your download request. Then you can visit the downloading processing page, and this is probably going to be queued for a little bit. This is another reason to, probably you want to get your data ahead of time, but hopefully it won't take too long. All right, complete. Great. So we will download our file and open it here, extract, and I'm going to put this as Corine. Okay, now let's go back to QGIS and open Corine. Oh, need to go back and extract that. I have to extract those as well. Okay, and we're just going to extract the shapefile. Okay, great. Let's refresh this. All right, here is our Corine land cover. As you will notice, it takes up the entire map. This is because all the different land cover classes are covered in Corine. So if you want to learn more about Corine, which we will need to do in order to get the information we want out of it, let's go search Corine class. So first off, let's go back to Corine and have a little look. So we're going to right click the layer name and open attribute table. So this is the table of all of the data, all of the polygons in this map or in this layer. So you'll notice code 18 as a field, and it varies throughout. So the code is the land cover class. So for us, we're interested in wetlands and in specifically inland wetlands and most specifically peat bogs. So we want the class 411 or 412. If you do 412 and you find that you really don't have a lot of bogs, go ahead and add the inland marshes as well. But for us, we're going to do 412. So the way that we're going to extract out this information is in the attribute table, we are going to go to this filter, and we are going to say code 18 or 12. And then we are going to go down and say select features. When we run it, we have successfully selected 1,870 features. So let's close this and go back over here, right click and go to export, save selected features as. And we will say downloads, Corine, wherever we are, and we will say Corine save. All right, and okay. And now we can get rid of this, remove layer, that's our old big Corine layer. And now we have just the peatlands of the Corine layer. So we can move this beneath our other fields if we want to view the other ones on top of it. And now we have a much more comprehensive land cover view of Ireland. But we're not done yet because we need to add our shapefile information back to our Mapathon entry sheet. So our dataset name was Corine Land Cover 2018. And yeah, we could actually just copy the whole thing. All right, dataset name. The publisher is Copernicus. And the link to the data. So this one's a little bit tricky because it's not exactly available directly. So we'll put a little note, but we got it from the data viewer. So Corine land cover, see if we can go to info. Okay, so we'll take this as being our link. Copy and paste. And the transformation that we did is we filtered out only the class that was 412. So if we right click this and open our attribute table again and go back to view the whole table, and here everything's 412. So we'll say that we changed code 18 filtered to be only 412. Only class 412. And that's it. We have our peatland data. So I'll see you next time for our open data.